off in Storrs, Connecticut. It's a first-four matchup. The University of Arizona band braving the cold and cheering on their hero, Elena Puello, who leads the Pac-12 in steals, making their way inside Gamble Pavilion to take on Johnny Harris. What a great job she's done now in her third year in charge of Auburn, getting them back to the tournament for the first time in 5 years. We welcome you to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. Auburn and Arizona, two number 11 seeds in this first four game. The winner will take on Syracuse. UConn, the host, will play in a couple of days here in this Regional 3 in Portland. A lot of big stories for this tournament. Angel Reese and LSU trying to go back-to-back after their improbable championship as a 3 seed last year. The Gamecocks' second straight season, an unbeaten regular season, but they fell short last year. And the best women's basketball player going right now, yeah, part of the star power. You got Caitlin Clark, Juju Watkins, Cameron Brink, and a whole lot more as the stars will be coming out all across the country. Our part of the bracket, the winner of this game gets Syracuse Saturday afternoon. UConn plays Jackson State on ABC, and the winners that come out of Storrs will take on the winners who come out of Columbus. It is going to be quite a tournament. Thrilled you could join us, Pam Ward, along with University of Maryland great Christy Winter-Scott, and there's just so much anticipation always. It's almost like Christmas Eve. The NCAA tournament is starting.
Absolutely. I am thrilled, first of all, that so many names are commonplace across the country. Dawn Staley, wow, losing all 5 starters, undefeated 32-0. That's just the precipice of what we're about to see in postseason play.
Yeah, who will come out on top? Arizona is a team that was only 2 games over 500 during the regular season, and here they are now. They had a big win against Stanford. And what a season it's been for Adia Barnes, a lot to deal with.
Well, she has had a lot to deal with. Look at what they lost earlier this season, 35 points per game. That's major. They also lost 2 starters and 3 total players. They have a 7-player rotation. They have 8 available players, but they have to stay disciplined. They understand the assignment of that. They've been playing with that for the last 2 months. The players understand as well.
And for the Auburn Tigers and at large out of the SEC, they rely heavily on Honesty Scott Grayson, who is a terrific scorer.
Well, she is a tremendous scorer, all 3 levels. You run her off the 3-point line, she will make you pay in the mid-range and also at the rack. She can knock in those threes. 125 career, 10th best in school history.
Yeah, one of the best ever to wear a Tigers uniform as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. And at the top, you see 5 of the 8 players available for Arizona. Jada Williams, with an effervescent personality and a point guard starting as a freshman. Puello and as Mary Martinez bring the veteran leadership. And for Auburn, we already talked about Honesty Scott Grayson, Mingo Young, Shaw, Collins, Savannah Scott, a true freshman. Rounding things out, how about Arizona starting 3 true freshmen?
But they're not freshmen at this juncture of the season. They have gained so much invaluable experience because of their minutes played.
Arizona wearing the dark uniforms, and there's number 2, Jada Williams, a true freshman out of Kansas City, Missouri, on the Pac-12 all-freshman team. And we had a chance to speak with her yesterday, and right away, she's not afraid, to say the least, to be in this position.
No, she's the coach on the floor, and she's exactly like Adia. She understands that she needs to be the energy giver, and that's why she chose to come to Arizona.
And Arizona gets on the board first.
No fear. Jada Williams just got right to the cup. The seas parted. She got right into that painted area and finished nicely.
And now here comes Auburn. These are teams that play similar styles. Mingo Young had to go off her foot.
We saw Auburn on that previous possession in man-to-man. They're going to mix things up, but they want to strap. They want to get right to business and stay locked in 5v5.
Yeah, both of these teams like to force turnovers. Arizona, among the best in the country in steals. Entry pass, and it goes in for Brea Cunningham, one of the 3 true freshmen who start.
Brea Cunningham did her work early right there. They love to run that action where they individually have her in the paint. She's individually covered and got the body on the seal and kept that contact and finished.
and a block underneath by Martinez.
But it's the connectivity for me. You gotta throw the great pass. We're talking about the shot all the time. It's the pass that sets up the play nicely for Cunningham to finish in the paint, right in that restricted area.
So Elena Puello with the nifty assist. Meanwhile, the block by Martinez gives Auburn 12 seconds to shoot. Auburn 8-8 in the very tough SEC this year, winning 20 games. Scott Grayson, we talked about her in the open, but she threw it away.
Now that was a tough one. Didn't match angles on that pass to get it inside. But honestly, Scott Grayson, I must have bumped into you 3 or 4 times yesterday because she is so crafty with her decision-making when she is a scorer for the team. 17 a game for her.
Absolutely, a lot of fun. Played her freshman year at Baylor, and here's a turnover. Mingo Young bringing it up. Left it short. Williams comes up with the rebound.
Mingo Young, I like that decision. Knew she couldn't get all the way to the rack, but decided to pull up mid-range. She just needed to get her feet underneath. She had all 10 toes in the paint, and that's what you want.
Chancy pass. Arizona able to control. Puello's a good three-point shooter. That one rims out. Rebound taken down by Scott Grayson. As you can tell, both teams like to push pace. Once they get rebounds, there she is.
Yeah, same pull-up. And what was different in that, Pam? She got her squat. She sat down, got underneath that shot, and lifted it nicely in transition.
5'9" guard from New Jersey. Williams with the miss.
Both teams want to get it and go, but it's going to be the process of how they get it. Are they going to get it with steals or board work, or both? And who does it the most? That's who's going to end up on top.
Puello forced the turnover by getting her hands into the passing lane. Underneath, there's the height advantage. Williams with the good pass inside.
And once again, you see Cunningham keeping that ball nice and high on the catch. And another great entry pass. They have great synergy in that way. They know where to get the ball. High percentage shooter. Cunningham shooting 51% on the season.
And playing together many, many minutes, especially over the last 14 games. There's a foul out on the perimeter on Cunningham.
Steal and score ability. Right here you see the deflection and then the steal, and now the pass downstairs, inside, off the window. Basics and fundamentals win at this point of the season. And whoever can do that best gets the job done. But look at the steals by Arizona.
6 in the entire country, and they are coming up on the most steals ever in a season. Led the Pac-12 in that category. Scott Grayson left it short, but was able to chase down the rebound momentarily, then lost it out of bounds. Boy, the Pac-12, heartbreaking that this is the last season, but boy, Adia Barnes, who played at Arizona, the Pac-12 going out in a blaze of glory this year.
Absolutely, and Adia Barnes, she shared with us that Tara Vanderveer, the head coach for decades at Stanford, sent a text message to all of the coaches after the Pac-12 title and the championship. And it was really fun to hear her speak of Tara Vanderveer in that way. She said, you know what, we compete hard against each other throughout the season, but she just gave us all our respect and said, hey, it's been really great to compete against you all the best to you moving forward. And not everyone does that.
No.
And she said not all conferences have that kind of synergy and that kind of respect for one another, regardless of how games go.
Yeah, they certainly are cheering for each other. That last foul was on Sydney Shaw, and it sends Jada Williams to the line. Such a cool customer, their best free throw shooter at 85% on the season, which is 5th in the entire conference.
And that's big time, especially, you know, when she has the basketball in her hands in crucial minutes of games. You know, she's going to get you a bucket there. And I love how they hard hedge right here. This is what I was talking about, the defense for both teams.
Oh, and that's a big foul too, Christy. That's Brea Cunningham, who has had a tendency to get into foul trouble, and as we've already emphasized, they don't have a lot of depth, and Cunningham is so important to stay on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw what she could do. She has great hands down inside offensively, but when they hard hedge like that, Auburn knows to attack the hip there.
Scott Grayson attacked the basket, had an open option in Shaw out on the baseline, but decided to shoot it herself. So a sub is in for Arizona.
And again, only 7 deep for Arizona. Using 2 starters, 35 points per game.
It's 33, pardon me, Isis Bay, transfer from West Virginia, and there's an emphatic block by Milton.
Oh my goodness, sent that back. Watch right here, you think you're free and easy, and you are not. What a big time block.
Milton is a true freshman herself, youngest player on the team. She just turned 18 on Valentine's Day.
She started some games this year, great instincts, especially defensively, as you just saw.
Puello off the rim, another whistle. Joe Basili, Katie Lukanich, and Benny Luna are our officials today. Johnny Harris in her 3rd year in charge at Auburn, and women's basketball fans, they know her. She was an assistant under both Gary Blair and Vic Schaefer, an Arkansas native, was on the Mississippi State staff that went and almost won a national championship.
Almost won a title, but while she has been in the trenches, she has been an advocate for so many, whether she was training them early on, like middle school kids, trying to get them to AAU programs and high school programs. We need more of that, those grassroots coaches to get opportunities like this.
And she was able to translate that into a career. Arizona now with the basketball. Auburn just 2 points. There's a giveaway. Shaw comes away with it.
Let's see if they can get something in the quarter court.
Off glass, a little bit too strong, but she stayed with it.
And that's what they're going to need. They're going to need to stay with play. Sydney Shaw, just a sophomore. And she's kind of one of those icy kind of players. And when I say that, she's very stoic. You never know if it's going good or not so well. She is one of those players that they need to step up and score.
Williams left open for 3. Shaw comes away with it.
Yeah, Shaw is the best pure shooter on the team for Auburn.
Nice. It was a good thought, but I think Martinez had the same thought and was able to knock it away. Arizona up 8-4 here in Stores. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Celebrations for the teams when they heard their schools called on Selection Sunday. Now time for tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. And these are the 5 teams here in Stores. And UConn, well, 132 wins, which is a lot more than all the other teams combined. And they will play Jackson State, who has never won an NCAA game.
Oh, well, you never know. You saw Grambling State win the other night on the men's side, and then Jackson State, I mean, they can come and make history, and that's why we love March Madness, because you have to expect the unexpected. You never know what could happen, but those numbers don't lie, how dominating UConn has been here.
But they have not won since 2016, not since Stewie left, and Johnny Harris certainly has been part of some great teams, was an assistant on the 2011 Texas A&M team with Coach Blair that won the national championship. And there's a travel call. That is the 5th turnover now for Auburn, and we talked to both coaches yesterday, and they both emphasized how they can't keep turning the ball over.
They can't keep turning the ball over. Both coaches also talked about containment of the painted area, and right now it's a 6-2 advantage for Arizona.
All picked up. Courtney Blakely, number 1, is in. That's player number 7 now for this Arizona team. Little Tennessee transfer. Puello, another good look. Arizona has yet to hit a 3, but they chase down the rebound.
Puello shoots 36% from range, so 2 clean looks just didn't fall for her.
Collins getting it over, and there's the finish. That's Auburn basketball for you. Milton with the score.
Yeah, get it and go. Push in transition. Johnny Harris, she emphasized that yesterday. They were doing a drill where they blew the whistle. You have to drop the ball and go the other way right now, and that's the pace that they want and need.
As Mary Martinez threw it to the wrong player.
Against a ravenous defensive team, you have to show the ball to them, right? Fake a pass to make a pass. Make them bite in that passing lane and then make the clean pass.
Offensive rebound and then a block. No foul call as Mingo Young went inside, but Auburn recovered. Auburn's missed its last 4, or Arizona, pardon me, has missed its last 4 shots as Auburn's still trying to get even. Shot clock, dying. They need a shot, no rim.
This is what makes Auburn so tough. They get into those passing lanes, they come and run and jump you with their defensive activity and action. And then they can get easy runouts and finishes in transition.
Martinez still trying to get things going. The 5th-year player from the Dominican Republic via West Virginia University, leading this team in scoring and rebounding. But so far, not only has she not scored, she hasn't taken a shot.
And that's tough because you see that the offense for Arizona is a bit disjointed. And you have to give credit to Auburn's defense for ratcheting that up a little bit and just being disruptive and blowing up the first couple of actions, getting them deep into the shot clock and turning them over.
Milton looking for someone to pass to, and the cutter didn't cut where she thought she was going to cut.
Oh, that was a zig instead of a zag on that one, and just a miscue. At least it wasn't a live ball turnover.
Right.
I think both teams can say that in the last 2 possessions. Look at these passing lanes. See how Arizona is just trying to get some ball screens, but Auburn is doing a fantastic job of staying locked over top.
Puello has really faced some pressure. Williams with the shot clock down to 5, passes it up, and finally Arizona breaks its little slump. Skylar Jones with her first points.
Well, Skylar Jones, that wasn't easy. The freshman was really good in terms of taking that weak side cut right into the paint.
Wow, and the speed there going downhill all the way. Bostic with the assist. Scott Grayson comes up with the rebound. Milton got the last points for Auburn, who can draw even. Milton. That's an offensive foul drawn by Jada Williams.
Jada Williams, great job by her to be settled in her defensive stance. But look at the push and pace of play. Milton right there needs that left hand, but the right one will do for now. And then Jada Williams sitting down and taking it to the collarbone and getting that charge called.
Williams, such a heady player. She was a McDonald's All-American last year. Played in Kansas City, Missouri, her hometown. And another whistle out on the perimeter.
I just love speaking to Jada Williams yesterday after their practice, and she was talking about how she's just going to come in and bring energy. If that's what my team needs, that's what we're going to do. And she's in the huddle and practices saying, we need to pick it up. And she just has this fire about her. It's only a freshman. I mean, can you imagine a freshman coming in telling some 5th-year players, hey, we got to pick this up? But they listen to her because she has integrity behind what she's saying.
Said she picked Arizona because she liked the passion and the feistiness of
Absolutely.
Coach Barnes. And it's almost like her, like a Diaz mini-me.
Yeah, it's a 2.0.
Yep. Just really an exciting player, Jada Williams.
High ball screen action right here. Let's see, they switched it defensively.
And Williams decided to go in and challenge Milton. Milton won that battle. Martinez got her hands in the way. Martinez, known for stealing, earning the nickname Cookie Monster.
Which I love. 3 steals a game for her. Look at Elena Puello getting into the passing lane right here with great anticipation. Just a little flick of the wrist with that left hand. Now she can push pace the other way. But 3 steals a game is insane. That is not easy to do. They had a teddy bear toss, and someone threw a Cookie Monster stuffed animal out there. And then it just kind of ended up in her hands, and now her teammates have nicknamed her the Cookie Monster.
Well, cookie is also a word for when you steal basketballs.
That's right.
The
You
term.
say, yeah, that's right. You say cookies. I took those cookies and go the other way with it. But look, 103 steals, most in school history this season alone. 305 steals for her career. That is a lot of pride on the defensive end.
Fifth year out of Spain, one of the captains on this team.
She also picked up an NIL deal with Crumble Cookies because of her nickname that was earned this season.
Yes, and a reminder, we have a couple not far from stores. And
I'm going.
Send them in. Hey, the shot clock's off now in the last 20 seconds or so. The first quarter, low scoring, but to be expected with these teams. And now Arizona's going to slow it down.
Lots of defense. We've seen so many different schemes in terms of coverages on ball screens and DHLs, dribble handoffs.
Puello gets it over in the corner, gosh. And that's a travel. Jones shuffled her feet. So Auburn has a chance with just under 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, too bad, because that was a great decision to attack the closeout that way, but you got to push off that pivot foot before the ball drops to the floor.
Full court pressure from the Wildcats. Scott Grayson throwing it in. Time for a heave to end the first quarter. Arizona leads it 11-8 here in this first 4 game.
Is killing it yet again, but it's going to be a challenge. If I had a crystal ball, that's what I want to see, Pam, in the Final Four, Iowa, South Carolina.
Remember, they played each other in the Final Four last year when South Carolina was unbeaten and Iowa was able to win. And ESPN Analytics say South Carolina, a 1-3 chance to win it all, followed by, how about UConn, a number 3 seed, as the second biggest favorite.
Right. I mean, I think when you look at what LSU did last year as a 3 seed, anything is possible. But also South Carolina now has some space on the floor with some 3-point strikers with Pow knocking in threes, and now they're shooting 40% as a team from range.
Pardon me, what they historically have not had is 3-point shooters. And finally, Martinez, not just her first points, Christy, her first shot of the game.
Hey, you gotta take shots to make shots. If you go 0 for 15, that's one thing, but you can't be 0 for 0. You have to be a threat. Shoot your shot. And here's that double drag action. And the attacking by Auburn on that blitzing that Arizona is doing. That is the 3rd time they've picked up a foul on that action.
So more turnovers and points for Auburn into that first quarter. Pam Ward along with Christy Winters Scott and boy, Adia Barnes and company. We knew that this was going to be a low-scoring game, and another foul on Arizona. How this game is officiated can really impact it.
No chance. You have to just be smart, right? You can't change what's gotten you here to the NCAA tournament. In terms of blitzing right there and hard hedging, you don't want to take that energy away from your team, but they have to be disciplined when they do it.
Coast to coast, no, it rolls off the rim for Blakely, first year at Arizona. Transferring from Middle Tennessee State. Scott Grayson got off to a quick start, but just has the 1 bucket so far. She is their leading scorer by a lot, 17.5 points per game. There you go, she goes in to knock down the shot.
She's just so tough. She's cold when she makes up her mind to put her shoulder down and get into a body and get over that top leg of defense. She is tough to stop.
First team All-SEC performer, Scott Grayson, now out on the perimeter. Bays continues to play because starter Brea Cunningham went out about 4 minutes in with 2 personal fouls for the Cats. 3-pointer, finally, Arizona gets the first one to fall, and Martinez has 5 quick ones here in the second quarter.
Well, they needed that. I mean, Martinez only shooting 23% from 3, but hey, let that thing fly. That's what I'm saying. Stay aggressive. You only have 7-player rotation. The scoring has to come from somewhere. Shoot the ball.
Just her 16th 3 of the season. Williams went down. Appears to be okay. Boy, you got to hold your breath every time now.
She's saying I'm good, but ooh, she still has a grimace on her face. Got hit really hard on that screen.
It looks like she will be subbed out at the next whistle. Martinez draws the foul. That's a heady play.
Yeah. Honesty, Scott Grayson, she'll set you up. 2 assists a game for her, but she can also initiate her own offense and get to the cup. And then right here on the outside, this is what we want to see. We want to see Martinez knocking in shots at 6'2". Her ability to stretch the floor is something that Arizona needs.
Foul on Eddings, and that sends Martinez to the line. Coming up next here on ESPN2, the NCAA Women's Tournament First Four continues as Tennessee Martin takes on Holy Cross. So just keep it right here. You know who went to Tennessee Martin?
Pat Summit. The late, great, iconic.
The best.
Look at us.
The best.
Oh, I love good trivia.
And I believe Lynn Dunn, too.
There we go.
She's quite a character. Lynn Dunn, one of the happiest people on the planet because they have the #1 pick, Indiana. General manager of the Indiana Fever. Oh, that is a terrific finish. Great attack of the basket by Jones.
Tough bucket right there with a little bit of contact. Didn't mind getting in there, fearless opportunity.
Pueo, it's 2-on-1. Gives it up. Blakely got to take it away. That is a spectacular defensive play by Mingo Young.
2 bags of cookies right there. Pueo got the steal, and then on the other side, Mingo Young getting it.
But then she right away is absolutely engulfed by the Wildcats. No held ball. They play on.
What a scrum. I think 5 of the 10 players who are on the court right now are right there at half court scrapping for that possession. We love to see it. The madness of March in full effect. Everyone knows how imperative it is to control possessions, and everyone was down on the deck trying to own it.
Pueo. She got a little funky motion on that shot, doesn't she? But it works.
Hey, all that matters is that flick of the wrist at the end of it. Listen, fingertips to the floor. Big
Pueo with her first basket, and now the lead has been doubled. Arizona's outscored Auburn 9-2 in this quarter. It induces a timeout.
Well, it's been pace of play and the ability to attack and finish in the paint that has Arizona on top. They may only have a 7-player rotation, but they have a 10-point lead.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Take a look at some of the great, boy, that Vanderbilt-Columbia game last night was thrilling. Kudos to the committee for getting Columbia in as an at-large from the Ivy, and they gave Vanderbilt all they could handle. We're in Storrs, Connecticut. The winner of this game gets Syracuse Saturday afternoon after UConn and Jackson State. The best of the SWAC meet on ABC. And then the other side of the bracket, Ohio State, the #2 seed in this Portland 3 regional. 8 teams each from the ACC and the SEC. And you go to the bottom, the top 3 seeds, 347-1 since the format changed in '94, and that one very famously.
Stanford and Harvard.
Yes, Stanford was a 1, Harvard was a 16. The seeding was so bad. But Stanford was down 2 starters with ACLs, Kristen Focal, and it'll come to me in a minute, and Allison Feaster played for Harvard. But anyway, the top seeds really roll.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like there's more parity than that, but then when you look at that number, it's crazy.
It was Vanessa Nygaard was the other one.
Vanessa Nygaard, you're right.
All right, so here we go. Pam Ward, Christy Winter-Scott joining you here in Storrs. So Arizona has 11 points off Auburn turnovers. Auburn has 10 total points. It's a 7-0 run for the Cats. And a foul out on the perimeter. Scott Grayson tried to attack the basket right away.
Yeah, 13 turnovers for Auburn right now, and you just can't have that, right? And some of them have been unforced, just sped up by Arizona. But Arizona, give them credit. They've been able to score those 11 points off of them in transition style.
You see the Arizona defense so aggressive on Scott Grayson. Misses the shot. Rebound hunted down nicely by Collins.
Arizona's teammates, they need to call these screens out because they're getting knocked with some solid screens. Those are brick walls. You got to talk to your teammates.
Terrific look after the double came over.
Oh, what a great read. Draw 2, C4. Which of those 4 is the most viable? Oh, what a great dime to the weak side. Strong finish by Milton.
Milton, the true freshman, youngest player on the team, and Martinez got plunked in the back. That's a foul.
We'll take a look right here. Dribble drive, a little hezzy, drawing the defense, and now nobody else recovers. You got to help the helper. If there's rotation, you got to drop down and help on that weak side. Nice find.
First foul on Taylon Collins. That last assist to Marshawn Bostic for Auburn. Winner gets Syracuse on Saturday. Puello.
Ball screen action, just trying to get the switches. And Auburn is presenting.
And Martinez with the high dribble, and they got her for it with the shot clock winding down.
Well, I like that two-player action. They got to keep doing it.
Thank you very much. So nice to have Kelsey and Nikki in the studio, and they are spot on. This has been, boy, Arizona's defense in particular.
Well, they've been spectacular in that regard. 9 steals already. They average just under 12, 11.6 coming into this game. And Puello, who averages 3 steals, she has 3 steals right now. So that has been the clear difference maker in terms of possession. The Cookie Monster.
3 cookies already.
3 cookies, man.
And
that's my limit. I don't
only
go
15 minutes in.
Oh, no. More than 3.
That's just the appetizer. So Scott Grayson, the leading scorer, trying to get things going. And there's another foul, and I might be on Martinez. If so, that's her second, and both of those things are true. That's not good. Martinez, their leading scorer and rebounder now, with a couple of fouls. And we talked about Arizona's short bench, and they are missing they had a leading scorer in Kaylin Gilbert, who is no longer with the team, dismissed from the team, was leading them in scoring at 15 points per game. But Arizona has sort of, they've kind of, I don't know if the chemistry is better, but certainly they have galvanized around each other, and they have flourished.
Well, that was the only choice. It wasn't a multiple choice situation. It's like, what are we going to do? That was just A. That was the only answer, is to come together and galvanize and play with and for one another.
And they have certainly done that getting into the tournament, even though they were just 2 games over 500. They played a brutal schedule. Auburn still has not hit a 3-point shot. Not only are you in the Pac-12, which is the best conference in the country this year, but this is just since the season started. They lost 2 starters, 3 overall, including their leading scorer in Kaylin Gilbert. That 45 points per game. They have 8 players, one of whom, Brooklyn Rhodes, is a walk-on. And they're in the big dance.
Absolutely, and that's a testament to Adia Barnes and her philosophy. You're not going to wallow in, oh my gosh, woe is me, and play the little violin with your thumb and forefinger. You're not going to do that. You're going to get out and compete and fight for what you want.
It's a 6-0 Auburn run. Bay can't break it.
It was a clean look inside, just didn't drop down.
Now that's a steal because Jada Williams got in the passing lane.
Just great anticipation off the ball, right? Get to the ball line. Don't go to the body because you're going to get a foul. Stay disciplined. Get to that ball line and deflect it and go the other way with it.
Williams using her left hand and drew another foul. She's crafty and was able to get herself back to the free throw line.
She's just so smart, 85% from the line, and just as rugged as they come when it comes to competitive maturity. The freshman brings it all.
2 fouls now on Milton, who has 6 points to lead the way. Only 4 Tigers have scored in this game. And here's Jada Williams at the line, where she is 2 for 2. For the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information and updated schedules, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships, culminating in Cleveland on Sunday, April 7th.
Well, I love that. I remember when I played in the Final Four, Cheryl Miller called our regional championship game at Texas. We had 8 players.
And you fangirled her?
I fangirled her, got hit with the ball in the layup line because I was fixated. Oh my God, Cheryl Miller's calling the game. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was tremendous. There's a good play underneath. Cunningham back in the game with 2 fouls. Oh my, she just picked up her 3rd.
Critical.
You know, going for the block, but at that point, right, Christy, playing with 2 fouls with a short bench, you got to be much more judicious.
Absolutely. You have to just wall up, keep your feet on the ground, and just trust your ability to gain position. But you can't get off the floor and try to go for that.
And explaining how she didn't think it was a foul. Adia Barnes explaining to Katie Lukanic, the official, that she didn't think it was a foul.
Well, it's just frustrating because it takes some of the juju off of what you can do in the second half now, right? I mean, offensively speaking as well.
Yeah, she's so important, Cunningham, the 6'4" freshman forward. Honorable mention, all freshmen, averaging 8 points, leading this team in blocks, 5th in the entire Pac-12, and that's too much body from Bostic.
Now, 58 blocks on the season for Cunningham, so I understand that you want to go for that because that's what you do. But when you already have those 2 fouls, you got to put those hands up and grit your teeth and just say, oh, I can't go for this one, and get those 2 hands up.
So we will see her in the 3rd quarter. Bostic picked up her 2nd foul.
Here's that ball screen action.
Williams just takes it all the way to the basket again.
That's a great read, but she's staying down. Hopefully she can hop up. She's hit the deck a couple of times in this game so far tonight. But what Auburn has been able to do defensively, they're going to run the post player and switch. And that is what Arizona has been able to attack well with that 2-player game.
Kimbawala has been called for the foul. She has missed the last several games, out with an injury. There she is from Lagos, Nigeria.
There was a little extra kick there at the end. I thought that it was a little extra, and I think that's what kept Williams on the ground.
So now pressure after the made free throws from Williams. Gets the lead back up to 6. Arizona has led by as many as 10. Shaw, a little bit of daylight. And now a foul on the rebound attempt.
Just have to get your back on someone and slide your feet and contain inside the paint on those rebounds. See the coaches for Arizona, their hands in the air, like you got to show your hands and keep a body on. Adia Barnes and company giving some great instructions from the bench.
2nd foul on Bay, who is in the game because of the foul trouble with Cunningham. Kimbawala back at the line. She's 6'5" sophomore center. Seeing the difference in the depth, pardon me, between these 2 teams.
Some full court pressure. We saw Arizona working yesterday against the pressure that they anticipated from Auburn.
Puello, nice change of direction, but then she's picked up by Scott Grayson, who took the ball away. And now Scott Grayson is in pain in front of her bench.
She fell hard. See if she can shake that off. Take a look at the hustle that March Madness brings the best out of you. And you see her hand kind of right behind her there, trying to catch herself with it. Right here on the ground. Oof.
That is a tough 3rd foul on Bay. So now both Bay and Cunningham, the 2 bigs for Arizona, have 3 fouls. And as Mary Martinez, their leading scorer and rebounder, has 2. Scott Grayson can't get the free throw. She's a New Jersey native, but went to Riverdale Baptist High School.
Yeah.
Legendary in the DMV.
Absolutely, a private school, always at least top 3 in the country. Great names have come out of that program as well. Honesty Scott Grayson, 78% shooter from the line, but you know, she fell hard on that shooting hand. But you can compartmentalize and just get to where you need to be mentally to focus on your mechanics.
Arizona, as you see, foul trouble with 3 of their players. They only have 8 available players, one of whom is a walk-on. Brooklyn Rhodes, who played AAU with Jada Williams, and she got her to come out and join the team. They need that from Martinez. That's a long 2.
Yeah, great spacing. Afforded that really great look by Martinez right there at the nail extended area.
Arizona had gone 4.5 minutes without a field goal, lead it by 6. Minute and a half to go in the first half. Winner gets Syracuse tomorrow. That's way too tall.
And I like the fact that Jada Williams was there just in case that pass was caught down in there. Doesn't mind mixing that up.
15 turnovers for Johnny Harris's team. National Assistant Coach of the Year, named by the WBCA in 2018, and she was with Mississippi State. Now in her 3rd year in charge at Auburn.
Well, I love the way that she coaches. We were watching her yesterday, and she's so mild-mannered, but she tells her kids, hey, you're not shooting that shot. You're shooting the teams. Get in there and get a rebound.
And another foul call with Jones penetrating the paint. Shaw picks up her 2nd for Auburn. And it sends Skylar Jones, again, one of 3 true freshmen starting for Arizona. This is the 14th straight game that those baby freshmen have started. NCAA Women's Basketball Championship first round begins Friday. That's tomorrow. 16 games on our family of networks, including a triple header on ESPN, including Rice and LSU, the defending champs. All games available on the app as well.
Let's go. We're in the thick of it now, and I love it.
Inside a minute now, Scott Grayson has found the points hard to come by. Puello with some good defense, and then they stripped Collins. All the way down and in and out, but Jada Williams, who never stops moving, was able to go down and grab the ball. She's not happy that it was called the hell ball.
She's not.
But at least the possession arrow points in Arizona's favor.
Well, this is the spice that we need. Ooh, it's a lot of extracurricular activity and physical connection right there. A little entanglement, and Jada Williams clapping it up like, I like that kind of thing. I didn't like that call, though.
She was anticipating a foul call.
Get her the ball. Players play better when they're upset. Get her the basketball right now.
Blakely got tripped up a little bit on her way to the basket. Foul on Scott Grayson, just her first. Honesty, Scott Grayson, just 5 points on 2 of 10 from the floor, averaging 17.5 points per game. In SEC games, she averaged over 20, which was 2nd best in the league.
Yeah, she is a toughie. I mean, tremendously shifty, change of direction, crazy on the offensive end, tough to guard. Knocked in 125 threes.
Finding the going very tough so far. Blakely 1 out of 2 from the line, and full court pressure again after the made free throw.
Just some man-to-man soft 1-up pressure by Arizona.
Not a lot of difference between the game and shot clock.
Chicken wing action going on, protecting the basketball. This game is getting chippy, and I like it.
Yeah, Williams is one of those players that could kind of get in your grill a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Mingo Young.
1-4 flat action, and a floppy action, bringing the guard off.
Puello got knocked down, and they saw it. Scott Grayson put her hands on Puello to try to get away, and Puello hit the deck. 2 fouls on Scott Grayson here in the last few seconds.
Yeah, they were trying to run that floppy action, which is coming off 2 screens on the block. Get her downhill.
Williams off her shin, puts it up at the buzzer. Arizona taking a 27-19 lead after the first half in this first 4 game. Let's go to the studio. Kelsey and Nikki. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. And in the first half, Arizona never trailed. Not a lot of offense from both teams, but the Wildcats on top by 8 in this first 4 game. The winner gets Syracuse on Saturday. And we welcome you back to Gamble Pavilion. Pam Ward along with Christy Scott winners 2 Terrapins for the price of 1. And boy, Arizona in this team is, we check out tonight's most reliable team, brought to you by Xfinity. Arizona in transition.
Well, they have gotten in transition because of their staunch defensive effort. They have turned Auburn over 17 times and scored 14 points off of those. Now listen, 11 steals so far in the first half for Arizona, big time. Martinez and Puello, they have 8 combined steals. But what they've been able to manufacture off of those steals have been great opportunities at the rack and attacking the painted area where they have an advantage in there as well.
And to check out tonight's game track, brought to you by Invesco. QQQ, Williams and Martinez. Jada, the freshman, Martinez, a 5th-year player. And you talked about the steals. Arizona is 6th best in the country in thievery. And Auburn is out rebounding Arizona by 13 in this game, including Auburn has 10 offensive rebounds, 9 of their 19 points coming on second chance points, but they're just not hitting enough shots, just 32% from the floor.
Right, a 9-to-1 advantage on second chance points. That'll get you a nice lead, and that's why we see it right now for Arizona. But now can you sustain it? Now you have to stay disciplined on the defensive end with Cunningham with 3 fouls to start the second half. Can she stay on the floor for this entire quarter?
Yeah, Cunningham, there she is. She bobbled the pass. Cunningham, the talented freshman from Chula Vista, California, has fouled out of 9 games this year. That's a lot. She picked up 3 fouls in just 4 minutes in the first half.
And that cannot happen here in the second half. She's got to stay on the floor. But that pass by Puello sent her off her spot. She's a post player. She's got a seal right there. Give it to her, throw it to her collarbone so she can catch it. Don't send her off her spot. Now she has to release her position. It's going to be a tougher move for her to make. And she didn't even catch that one because it was too far.
And another challenge by Cunningham. Wow. With 3 fouls, and she did that?
I was cringing.
I think Adia Barnes might have thrown up in her mouth a little bit looking at that play, but no foul was called.
Well, her tempo was definitely tight on that one for
yeah,
sure. Snatched edges.
Gosh, this is a good player. I don't know if she's going to be able to play in the WNBA because it's such a darn good league, but Martinez is a pro.
And she said she wanted to, right? You asked her that question yesterday after practice, and she said, yeah, I want to go to the league. Yeah. And Puello answered yes to that as well.
Yeah, they're both very talented players. Martinez, 10 points, 4 for 4 from the floor. Auburn trying to answer Puello. There's the Spaniard. Another 5th-year player, good size at 6 feet tall, all Pac-12 and also all defensive this year because of her steals. And Martinez draws another foul.
Well, when you can get solid stops defensively, like Cunningham right here, walling up 2 hands high on the block, you can push the other way. Jada Williams gets a piece of the paint for the spray-out triple. Martinez nailing that one home, and that's the kind of activity that has been so good for Arizona. They've been able to get some great offensive production off of plays like that.
Second foul on Taylon Collins, and Martinez at the line in the first half. How about tying her career high with 5 steals, and she just had them in the first half?
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, she was in the passing lane, staying aggressive with that outside hand, staying up the line and getting deflections. And what Arizona has done well defensively, they give a hard show. They don't actually switch it unless they have to on an emergency, but they are right there to recover after any kind of screening action that Auburn presents.
That time, Auburn converts on the offensive rebound. Scott Grayson able to get it over to Collins, and Scott Grayson comes out with her right thumb taped.
Yeah, she's already had some tape on that left wrist, but now she's got that right thumb taped up after that hard fall at the end of the first half. But they had to break a play to make a play, and that's what happened on the other side for Auburn.
Scott Grayson, their leading scorer. Puello also very calm demeanor out there on the floor.
Oh, for sure, and you have to have that, right? Wide open look, had time to square her feet, get her body balanced, and let it go.
And now the pressure and a 5-second call. The Arizona defense cranking up here in the third quarter.
Look at Elena. Puello right here is going to reposition herself, relocate out there to the foul line extended, and knock in that 3.
Cunningham with the miss and then reached in.
I'm sorry I grabbed you on that, Pam. I thought that was going to be her fourth.
And a charge on the other end. They get Mingo Young for her second.
We'll just watch right here, the drive to the rim and connecting with Martinez, who takes the charge. The bottom of her shoes coming right into your living room on that one, and that's how physical this game has been.
Rick Cunningham kind of living on the edge. That's a deflected pass and a steal by Shaw. Terrific pass, and then the move to the other side of the basket by Collins.
Oh, what a smart decision by Collins right there in transition, and she made that within a split second. She knew she had to get to the opposite side. Nice body balance on that power-up dribble.
That's a big-time foul and a great reaction from Milton. A big-time block, pardon me, on Jada Williams' attempt.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, typed up and deleted. Oh, my, right into the camera. Some energy behind that one. That was just a ferocious dunk by the freshman.
A giveaway, and they'll get Puello with the foul, just the first on her.
And this game is what March Madness is all about. Both teams fighting and scrapping, trying to stay disciplined to their overall team philosophy and the game plan, but I mean, you got to average fall downs in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we counting those? Because each team, every possession, has gone to the floor for either 50-50 basketball opportunities or scrapping for a jump ball. I mean, it's been a fight for possessions in this game.
Exactly what we expected. These two teams with such similar styles. And we asked Johnny Harris, the head coach for Auburn, if Arizona reminded her of a team that she had seen or played this season, and she said, us.
Yeah.
That Arizona reminds her of her Auburn team.
Absolutely. It's like the Spider-Man meme, right? Looking right at each other with the same kind of characteristics when it especially comes to defense. Arizona right now has come up on top in terms of paying those turnovers off.
Holy, that's 3 fouls now on Martinez for Arizona. He's been their best offensive threat tonight and all season long. Milton, yep, she should have shot before she decided to motor without the dribble. That's the 20th turnover now on Auburn.
She is a freshman, and she does have great instincts, but right there, as soon as you hesitate and you're indecisive about your move, that's when trouble starts. You just have to be organic with it and just make that move. Just go.
Now Bay comes in for Martinez. Bay is also playing with 3 fouls, number 33 for Arizona. Williams left open momentarily all the way across the court, but Auburn shuts it down. Jones fouled.
Really good defensive recovery, though, by Auburn to get back and transition defense.
Taylon Collins, her third for Auburn, but the Tigers have a much deeper bench than Arizona, whose bench is 2 people plus a walk-on. So Jones heads to the free throw line, true freshman from Chicago. For the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on ESPN networks. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
We'd love to see that. And there's also been some discussion in the sports world about, can you name 5 women who play on the collegiate level, and can you name 5 men? And a lot of people are having trouble naming 5 players in the men's tournament.
Because it's just not as exciting. They don't have a Caitlin Clark.
Shaq said it, so
yeah, Shaq has some cred.
Charles Barkley, an alum from Auburn. And Steve Kerr, an alum from Arizona. I wonder if there's a friendly wager between those two.
Another turnover. Biggest lead of the game right now for the Wildcats, who led by 8 at the break. Bay driving on Milton. Little hesitation, no travel, and she got the friendly roll. That's the first bucket for Bay, who is from Murray, Utah. Arizona, actually her 4th school.
16-14 advantage for Auburn, actually, in paint points. But Arizona needs to continue to attack that area because of their low rotation numbers, just 7 players.
Zambane picks it up, throws it in, and it just rims out. Yeah, if you were just to look at the statistics, you would think certainly this game would be a lot closer.
Right.
Foul on Shaw on the perimeter. Arizona extending the lead now to 16.
Well, Arizona has knocked in some triples on these spray out opportunities. Triple, drive, and kick opportunities for Arizona, coming up big for the Wildcats.
Bracket tips brought to you by Allstate. #1 seeds have won 10 of the last 11 titles. The exception, #3 LSU last year. And all of those numbers since the tournament expanded back in 1994. And we remind you that brackets close Friday. Scan this QR code to fill out your Women's Tournament Challenge bracket. So many stars, and we have to mention one of the stars we saw in that highlight reel, Elizabeth Kitley. The news came out today. Our worst fears have been realized. She has a torn ACL.
It's just so unfortunate. And Kenny Brooks, when she went down with that injury right before the ACC tournament, he said she's everything for us, not just her 20 and 12, right? Not her 20 points, not her 12 rebounds, but the leadership qualities that Elizabeth Kitley brings to the table, just unmatched. So healing prayers out for Liz Kitley.
Milton just picks up her 3rd foul, and yes, Virginia Tech, who just came up short. They had that, I believe, 9-point lead in the 4th quarter against LSU in this Final Four last year. Went on to lose. LSU went on to win the championship. But Liz Kitley, one of the finest human beings you'd ever want to come across. And gosh, that's really a shame. But they still have Georgia Amore, so make sure you watch Virginia Tech, and they are a top 4 seed in this Regional 3 in Portland. UConn, lowest seed since 2005. They were 3. They have a star. You might have heard of Paige Beckers.
Maybe so.
She's having a heck of a year. Leah Edwards as well.
Yes.
And we will have them on ABC Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait to see them in action again. Another team that has struggled with injuries
big time,
and short rotations, but it has not mattered for their effectiveness and efficiency in the win column.
Another Big East championship for Gino and company, and this is a first 4 game. Yes, the winner does play Syracuse next, and that will be on Saturday. And Arizona doing it with just 8 available players, which is remarkable. Getting into the tournament, had a huge win at Stanford. We had Jackson State, UConn on ABC, then Syracuse on ESPN2 plays the winner of this game, and then everything will be decided sometime Monday to see who moves on to beautiful Portland. Bostic with the steal, and it won't go in. And then the foul on Bay. That's 4.
And it has been, that's a microcosm of what has gone wrong for Auburn. They are doing the work defensively, but they are not tying a bow and paying it off on the other side. And I mean, you got to keep chopping. You're doing what you need to do on the defensive side. You're getting the steals, but you're not finishing.
Yeah, you're not going to want to take a look at the shot chart after this game. If you're an Auburn player, there are a lot of paint points have gone by the wayside. So 4 fouls, pardon me, on Bay. So she is replaced by Martinez, who comes back in. She is playing with 3 fouls. How many will be left standing at the end of this game?
And that could make a difference, right? I mean, you see Auburn getting into the passing lanes, getting steals, and maybe getting to the line to get points produced.
And this is a team that, in Auburn, that averages 21.5 points per game off turnovers, and it's Arizona that has kind of flipped the switch in the script in this one. But Auburn certainly not out of it. They have played 11 players already in this game. Just 7 for Arizona. At least they drew a foul that time with the miss inside.
They're going to be intentional, getting downhill, and they know that their advantage is to get Arizona's players in more foul trouble than they already are in.
Talk about foul trouble. You know it's a big deal right now, as Mary Martinez has 4 fouls.
Yeah, that's major.
And she just came in for Bay, who picked up her 4th.
I look at Adia Barnes saying, hey, listen, you can't go for those. And I can't read what she's saying, but non-verbally, it looked like that's what she's saying. You can't swat, you can't swing. You got to keep your feet to the floor, and that's so tough to tell competitors, but that's the discipline necessary here in the second half if you're Arizona.
Duhan gets them both. Martinez was in the game for 23 seconds.
Oh, my.
Coming in for Bay after she picked up her fourth. 23 seconds later, their leading scorer picked up her fourth.
Well, it makes it tough.
Puello, a lot more on her shoulders now. Blakely sets up, looking over at Coach Barnes to get a call.
Trying to get a pick and roll or pick and slip situation.
Turnaround, that's a tough shot, and it's Auburn basketball. 12-point advantage for the Cats. Outside shot, that is enormous for Auburn. An 8-0 run. That's Eddings with the big three. So Arizona in a lot of foul trouble, and now it's an 8-0 run.
Well, Arizona has gone to their 2-3 zone because of that foul trouble, and what happens on that? You're slow rotating out to contest the three ball. Auburn knocks that one home.
I don't care for small talk. Let's get to it.
Welcome back to Stores, where Arizona holds a 40-31 lead, but Auburn, they're coming for you. They have gotten manufactured offense from great spacing and great pace. Arizona has had to go to their zone. They've been able to utilize great spacing to kick out for threes, and they are really gaining on Arizona right now, and they have an advantage on the glass, which I think is the biggest X factor, 29-14 in that. And on second chance points, 15-1 advantage for Auburn. So if they can continue to chip away, Pam, I think this could really get interesting as the game wears along.
Yeah, particularly since Arizona has so many players in foul trouble. Lead is down to 9. Arizona's gone almost 3 minutes now without a field goal after leading by as many as 17. And that was just a couple of minutes ago before this big run.
But can Auburn get the stops necessary and continue dominating on the glass? Those possessions are going to matter if they can pay it off on the offensive side.
Oh, Williams, that's what you need, right, to stop a run?
Oh, yeah.
That freshman,
Yeah.
fearless.
Man, listen, when that calendar flipped to 2024, just call her a sophomore now. I mean, she's been on the floor. She plays over 30 minutes a game.
Another bucket for Bostic.
Auburn likes to run that high ball screen action, then try to isolate Cunningham inside.
But instead, all the way to the basket, and Williams could put on a clinic on how to draw fouls.
Jada Williams does such a fantastic job of staying available, relocate, get out there and let that thing go up. And then she put her hands up like, yes, that was a three. But you love that she is aggressive-minded when it comes to picking and choosing her spots to attack, whether that's off the dribble drive or relocating for threes. Her aggression is going to make a huge difference. Only a 27% shooter from three, but she stays ready.
One out of 2 in that trip for Williams.
Williams, a member of the Pac-12 all-freshman team as well.
There's the steal, Puello. Arizona has hit all 4 of its threes in this first quarter after they just hit in this third quarter, after they only hit 1 in the entire first half. Puello nails it.
Well, it's been all about the steals for Arizona, 13 of them to be exact, and this one gets paid off by Puello from range. Those are cookies too. Steals are cookies, but so are triples. Cookies, all 3 of them right there, right in front of that bench. And that's a momentum swinging play, right? They needed that. Auburn was trying to come back, send them a wave of production on the offensive side, but that sequence is just what the doctor ordered for Arizona.
Bostic missed her first free throw after being fouled by Blakely. Arizona trying to hang on. And they would take on Syracuse. The winner gets Syracuse in our second game on Saturday afternoon. Blakely, she's fast. Hard off glass, no foul.
And lost her footing once she got down into those trees in front of the rim.
Courtney just listed at 5'8". A couple of years at Middle Tennessee where she got some NCAA experience, and boy, getting a lot of experience now.
Absolutely. So 1-4 flat again for Auburn. Let's see when they bring that high ball screen. It's a floppy action.
Good look off the rim, but another offensive rebound and another foul. Skylar Jones thought she had a clean defensive play, but instead it's her third personal.
Well, sometimes Auburn, they like to run that floppy action, getting those two screens right there on the block. And sometimes they curl that cut. That time they took it flat to the three-point line. But again, getting to the rebounds, those possessions, they need those.
Duhan hits the first one. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship first round continues tonight. CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on their game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Duhan gets them both. 11-point advantage, inside 50 seconds to go, and another drawn foul and contact. Oof. And that is Eddings, as veteran athletic trainer Rosemary Regal comes out, along with head coach Johnny Harris.
Oof. I hate to see that. We'll take a look.
The previous play is under review.
And see what happened here. It's on the way down. Contact made to her face.
It's just a basketball play, though. There shouldn't be anything added to that. You see the, in my opinion, you saw Jones catching her. Lisa Mattingly is in Bristol for us. What are you seeing there, Lisa?
I agree with you, Pam. I believe that's just incidental contact. It looks vicious, but it's really just part of the basketball play.
Thank you, Lisa. First time I've ever heard her say, I agree with you, Pam. It's so nice to have our rules analyst.
Love it.
About an hour or so away in Bristol. And it is a basketball play. I mean, I'm sure it hurts McKenna Eddings as she was going to the back. But the officiating crew, Joe Vasily, Katie Lukanich, and Benny Luna, going to look at it.
Yeah, for sure. She's definitely going in the back to get treated medically, but you know, there was nothing egregious. There was no wind-up prior to that contact.
And to add injury to injury, Eddings was called for the foul.
Oh, well, shoot. I'm sure she does.
They're going to get together and talk it over. Joe Vasily, one of the veterans that we see.
Yep.
Good officiating crew here tonight in a physical basketball game.
Oh, yeah.
Eddings heading to the back with 5 points. All of them here in the third quarter. Auburn trying to claw their way back into this game. They have not led. And that's, wow, you can look at under her left eye and see where she got caught.
Oh, yeah.
There is no further penalty on the play. The contact is incidental.
That bruise is
Joe Vasily with the information, and even though, yeah, that hurts like you know what, but Lisa Mattingly, our rules analyst, also saying this is just part of a basketball play. It just hurts like crazy.
Yeah, just no malintent there, no wind-up. Just a basketball play. That's the ruling on the floor, but Eddings whistled for the foul, like you said, to add to that moment for her. Oof.
Free throw hit by Skylar Jones, true freshman, starting her 14th straight game.
Full court pressure once again. Auburn having a hard time triggering it in.
And then another foul, this time called on Arizona. They're going to get Jada Williams. That is just the first, remarkably, on her.
We can see right now what Auburn is doing, right? Whether it's in the quarter court, in the full court, they are pushing tempo. And they are attacking that painted area with veracity and consistency. They want to get a piece of the body. They want to make sure that you're late rotating over to contest. And they've gotten to the line a lot here in the second half because of it.
Shaw at the line. Arizona's been called for 17 fouls, Auburn for 20. Sydney, the sophomore from Miami, has that rim out. Rebound taken down by Cunningham, who is out there playing with 3 personals. Martinez and Bay have 4 apiece for Arizona. Martinez is on the bench at the moment. Count it. Honesty, Scott Grayson. We haven't heard from her in a while. Hit that one.
Well, this is what she was doing all day yesterday in practice, getting downhill and staying fanciful with her finishes inside with contact. Great pass up the floor, which is what you want to do. Push with a pass. Get it to your scorer. She leads the team with 17 a game. Feed her, let her eat.
Third foul on Blakely. And there's the ice on Edding's eye. Try to keep the swelling down. Scott Grayson with the miss, and Blakely comes away with it. Shot clock is off now for Arizona. Puello, their veteran.
There's that high ball screen once again. Let's see if they slip it. Oh, she's there for the slip. Missed her.
Yep, Cunningham open for a moment. Williams missed the 3 wide left, but an offensive rebound, a chance for Jones. Doesn't fall, but Arizona's up 10.
March Madness in full effect. It's been a scrap fest here in Stores. Bodies on the deck. Physical play everywhere. Who wants it more? Stay with us to see in the 4th.
Let's welcome all of you back here in Stores, Connecticut. This is Regional 3 in Portland, UConn-Jackson State. Syracuse plays the winner of this game. Those will be coming your way on Saturday. And the winner on Monday will advance on to play in Portland. And Ohio State is the number 2 seed in this region. And they were the running for a 1 seed for a while. There you take a look at their numbers, but they were bounced in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament by the University of Maryland, and they won by, it was a pretty sizable win.
Yeah, it was over 20 points for Brenda Fries and the Terps. And when you talk about Ohio State, you've got to talk about their defensive prowess. With J.C. Sheldon leading the charge there, Kevin McGuff has had his team top 2 in the country. Yes, they're a 2 seed in this tournament, but they were number 2 for a long time. Towards the end of the year, Cody McMahon came alive at the turn of the calendar in January in Big Ten competition. But it's their ability to score the ball. And Ohio State got that taken away from them in the Big Ten tournament by Maryland.
They will play Maine in their first game. Duke Richmond on the other side of that bracket. Pam Ward, Christy Winter Scott joining you from Stores, Connecticut, where Arizona has a 10-point advantage. They have led the whole way in this, but Auburn in the last 5.5 minutes of the third quarter actually scored 16 points, but they're still down 10. Williams hung on to it and scored. There's a lot of really good freshmen in this country, and this is one, Jada Williams, that a lot of people probably haven't seen until today. She's a good one.
Talk about it, Pam, because when you have a freshman who is fearless like Jada Williams is, and look at the passion that she brings to the floor, you love to see it. Martinez is saying, that's my freshman right there, getting a bucket with some contact, and you love to see the intentionality and the decisiveness from young players across the board. Jada Williams, add her to the list of players.
Martinez staying loose over there on the bike. She has 4 fouls, and when we had a chance to talk to Jada Williams, Martinez, and Puello, and yeah, we talked earlier how Jada came over and just was talking, you know, very definitively, and we said to the veterans, does she ever stop talking? They said no. And, you know, Jada laughed about it, but they love that about her, to have a true freshman come in. And especially, we talked about Kaylin Gilbert leaving, all the players that they have lost for one reason or another during the season. To have a point guard like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adia Barnes said as much as well. She said that Jada Williams is a natural leader. And when you have that as your point guard, that's invaluable.
And remember, she's a baby. She's a true freshman. Good look inside to keep it going by Zambani.
Well, that is what Auburn has done incredibly well this entire game. That's a 19-1 advantage on second chance points, but still not ahead in this game overall. So they've been doing a great job of manufacturing offense from getting to the offensive boards.
Now Puello's turn to draw a foul. Scott Grayson picks up her 3rd. Honestly, not having a good shooting day. She's missed 10 of her 13 shots, only 7 points, and they need her every day to come up big.
Well, they need her for sure, and guess who knows that? Arizona.
Yes.
They know that, and they're taking away what she likes to do.
Kick save and a beauty over there by Adia Barnes. Ball goes over to Auburn. Adia with Zabocopa, her husband and assistant coach, Bet Shelby, Anthony Turner, rounding out that staff. And her lovely children are here too.
Those babies were so cute at practice yesterday, running around. Mateo, he will soon be 9 years old in June. And then Capri is 3.5, the sweetest.
That's a foul out on the perimeter. Cunningham now has 4.
There they are.
There you go. There's he never stops moving, Mateo.
I love it. I think he gets it from his mama, because we saw him shooting around before the game, and he was just fired up, throwing nice hard bounce passes to some of the managers.
Scott Grayson works the baseline.
She's just so smart with her decision making, and she just serpentines her way to where she wants to go inside, and that's what they need. They need her to stay aggressive like that. Keep the basketball in her hands. She's not going to make a bad decision for the team.
One of the few players with NCAA experience on this Auburn team. This is their first appearance in the Big Dance since 2019. Scott Grayson got some experience when she was at Baylor. Played in 4 games, but a couple of them she only played 1 minute, so whole different day here.
You see, trying to get downhill in that area, and that gap is just closed up by Auburn inside, and this game has been incredibly physical.
4 seconds on the shot clock and a foul before the ball was inbounded on Duhan.
I mean, both of these teams have signature wins. Auburn split with LSU, and Arizona split with Stanford. First time Arizona was able to beat Stanford at Stanford since 2001.
All right, they're going to get this foul straightened out. And they're going to go over and take a look. Here's Joe.
The previous play is under review.
So while they review that, we will take a break. Arizona up. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? We are back in stores, joined by Lisa Mattingly, our ESPN rules analyst. We had a review during that break, Lisa.
Yes, I saw that.
So what do you
I believe they stuck with the illegal contact by the white player in white.
That is correct. The foul stands on Sumbanye.
I thought that was an illegal screen for time and distance for that player. But you could still have an intentional foul after the fact on that, even if they had called the illegal screen. And it's pretty severe contact.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of severe contact in this game. Another foul drawn by Jada Williams, but the foul, thanks a lot, Lisa, for your expertise. She'll be with us throughout the tournament. Celia Sumbanye called for the personal foul. With just over 8 minutes left to go in this game, Arizona has led the entire way. And they are up by 9. The winner gets Syracuse on Saturday afternoon. Jada Williams has drawn 9 fouls.
That's incredible. I mean, that's that intentionality and the discipline that we were talking about for the freshman.
And she doesn't seem to get tired either. She's been out there the entire time.
She's just ready to compete. Just on 1,000 at all times. There's never a time where her switch is turned off.
Much like her head coach, Dia Barnes, which is one thing that Jada told us attracted her to Arizona.
Absolutely. You want to be with like-minded competitors.
Another bump, another foul. And Cunningham has just fouled out of this game. It's the 10th time this year that she has fouled out of a basketball game. Cunningham, one of 3 true freshmen who start for this team, leaves with 5 points and a rebound.
That is critical at this juncture, Pam, because I mean, not only are you missing her scoring ability, but she averages just under 2 blocks a game as well. So you're missing her defensive attention to detail and deterrence in front of the rim.
So she goes out, and Martinez comes back in as Mary playing with 4 fouls.
You can see the frustration on her face. You just don't want to disappoint your team or your coaches.
Hoping she gets another shot if Arizona can hang on and play on Saturday. Puello, the captain. What a cut by Williams. That was an amazing find by Puello, who didn't seem to have a lot of room.
Puello with extreme composure on that play. Patience, waiting for Williams to complete that cut. Right to the rack.
The spin, and it went in on one of the most awkward finishes you'll ever want to see. Zumbane was able to somehow not travel, not get hurt, and hit the basket.
She looked like me at the YMCA, but I would have got hurt on something like that one.
Puello, poise. Elena Puello, the 5th-year player out of Spain. Always draws a very tough defensive assignment, and now keeping calm, trying to hold on and get her team to Saturday.
Nice patience here by Arizona, reorganizing the offense. They're gonna let that shot clock go down a bit. Now they're getting their 1-4 flat. They like to bring that high post back screen. Now Williams can go to work.
That time it hits the side of the backboard. No drawn foul. Terrific pass to Scott Grayson. That was on the money. And it's now a 7-point advantage and a timeout. Yakia Milton with a great pass, but first this one.
A nice backdoor cut, sell it high, and then cut hard low. But then right here, the whirling dervish kisses that one off the window. Up high for that one, and then touchdown Auburn on this one. A great connection of dots for the Tigers.
Yeah, pardon me, that was Bostic with the great pass. Arizona up by 7. All right, while we have this time, let's go back to Kelsey Riggs in the studio.
Well, Pam, just got a little update for you because I know we have a doubleheader on ESPN2. UT Martin Holy Cross getting set for their first 4 game. That tip is going to begin over on ESPN News, and then as soon as this one concludes, we will bring it to you right here on ESPN2. But for now, we're enjoying the end of this one, Pam.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this game is dragging a little bit. Still have 6 minutes left to go. We've had a lot of foul calls. Let's take a look at tonight's Star Stories brought to you by Honda. Jada Williams and Esmeri Martinez, the freshman and the 5th-year player for Arizona.
And it doesn't matter when it comes down to it. Can you hoop? And yes is the answer by both Jada and Martinez.
Running for 28 points. After the timeout, Puello, Bay back in the game. She is playing with 4 fouls, number 33 for Arizona, as is Martinez.
The screener is the one that's going to be open on these actions, and Arizona's getting some great screens, but they're missing the slips.
Bay picks up her dribble. There's 5 seconds left to shoot. Jada Williams got it knocked away. Great play by Bostic. And then Williams stuck her hand in there to get it right back.
You gotta love Jada Williams. She said, okay, let me get down in here. It gets deflected, that's okay. I'm not gonna hang my head. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna reach right back in and knock it off your foot and applaud my activity on the defensive end.
Auburn's first turnover of the quarter after they had really struggled with hanging onto the ball in the first 3. Martinez from the baseline.
Silky smooth in the pinch post. Martinez, they have needed her production. She's been in and out of the game with foul difficulty, but she knows the assignment right now is to get buckets for her team.
Five minutes to go. Williams almost forced another turnover. In the paint, difficult shot for Shaw, who hit it over Williams. Lead is 7 with plenty of time left. There's the steal. Scott Grayson making it happen.
A difference maker. See Johnny Harris saying, get up.
Just like that, Auburn has hit 3 straight shots. The lead is 5. Puello left open. Elena Puello answers. Inside move beautifully to get around. Bostic's made a couple of nice plays here.
Yeah, she really has. That's an up and under right there. And typically you see post players doing that move, but guards can do it too. Get in on the action in the paint.
And then a foul out on the perimeter.
Steal and score mentality. Both teams love to do it. And as we said, who can do it the best and who can sustain it? You see Honesty Scott Grayson right there picking the pocket. And then right here, put the brakes on skates. Puello nailing that midi in transition. And then the up and under, little bit. Get a bucket. You'd love to see it.
Puello with extra style points going behind her back with the dribble before she nailed the jumper.
Put her on some skates.
There she is again. Puello trying to salt this game away by herself right now.
Oh my.
Both teams shooting well here in the fourth quarter. Arizona's hit 6 of 8 shots. Auburn 7 of 9 after a very slow start. That's short. Puello, rebound.
Elena Puello coming alive here just when her team needs her to do so.
Bay gets it back. Nope, it's stolen. Good job by Duhan to get in the way. And then another foul. But Elena Puello really showing up here in the fourth.
Oh, that step back gives her just enough time to cash that one in, and she puts the 2s down like that's a deuce. They have needed all of that production from her late in this game to keep Auburn at bay, because they have been coming on the defensive end and getting into the action off the ball.
Just 3 minutes to go now for the Tigers. You could see Sumbane with the hesitation. She's only hit 3 threes all year, and that one missed everything.
Yeah, just 17%, 3 of 18.
Elena Puello had 2 points in the first half. Different story here.
Different story. She has come alive, and she has been more of an aggressor on the offensive end, but she's also had the basketball in her hands a lot more in the second half as well, being a primary decision maker.
Kicks it out. No 3 from Martinez. Here's Williams.
thought Martinez was going to pull that.
Certainly had a good look at it. Bostic lost it out of bounds. It stays Auburn basketball. They'll have 24 seconds to shoot. Marshawn Bostic, the junior out of St. Louis, fastest player on this team. She was a high school sprinter. I think we have seen that today.
Yeah, several
Gets to the rim
times.
very quickly.
Yeah, several times over. Marshawn Bostic, junior. She sees a lot of drop coverage because of that speed, because she likes to attack with it.
Milton. Off glass.
Her arms are as long as the day is, and she just stretched out and finished that one with the smooch off the window. Tough bucket.
5-point lead. Pueyo gets it over on the cut to Jones, who hits it.
Take a look. Pueyo making plays once again for the Wildcats. Contact, bucket, and one. Opportunity.
And a huge foul, because that is the 5th on Honesty Scott Grayson, the leading scorer for Auburn. Leaves with 13 points. And this could be her final collegiate game. She is using up her last year of eligibility. The grad student, first team All-SEC this year, graduated in December of 2022.
But the hug from Johnny Harris right there says it all.
Has been so important with Coach Harris now in her 3rd year. What a career for Scott Grayson, hoping her teammates can come from behind. It's only a 5-point advantage. Adia Barnes calls a timeout. Scott Grayson has fouled out of the game, top 10 in field goals, and right around there in points in Auburn history.
And even with her being out right now, she can still impact the game as a leader with her verbiage.
Let's take a look now at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance.
And let's take a look right here. Look at this young freshman. They say the young shall lead you. It's Jada Williams coming up huge for Arizona. Martinez getting in the mix as well with the mid-range game. Insane in the mid-range. And then Pueyo, she has come up bueno here in the 4th quarter for Arizona. She has gotten big buckets and timely moments to keep Auburn at bay.
Pueyo is the only Wildcat remaining who played in that 2021 National Championship game where they were an Arie McDonald shot that almost went in.
How about that?
That close to winning a title, but Stanford won. So Pueyo's got the experience, a little step back, hunted down. And then the follow by Skylar Jones, the freshman. Auburn attacks, in and out, rebound Martinez.
That was a big opportunity missed there by Auburn to cut into this lead, but second chance points, Auburn had been masterful at that. But that last one by Arizona was big time.
Inside of a minute now, Jada Williams fouled again.
It's a 19-3 advantage by Auburn on second chance points, but you just need 2. And it's all about when you score it. And for Arizona, they needed that bucket right there to extend this lead.
Shaw just picked up her 4th, and back to the free throw line goes Jada Williams as Scott Grayson looks on. What a career she has had. Started out at Baylor, 4 years at Auburn.
Uncharacteristic miss there by Jada Williams, but yes, Honesty Scott Grayson, you kind of feel the agony of her not being able to do anything about what is transpiring in front of her eyes.
Well, Honesty Scott Grayson, McDonald's All-American when she graduated from high school in 2018, went to Baylor and found a home at the Plains, where she is 1,600 points and in the top 10 in school history for threes made. Let's go back to Kelsey Riggs for another update. Kels.
Well, Pam, just wanted to give you that update a little bit more in depth that Holy Cross and UT Martin has tipped off. That game is going on over on ESPN News right now. Close one for the start, but as soon as this one has concluded, we will send you back over there after this.
All right, Holy Cross and UT Martin, the winner gets to play Iowa.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark Company.
Good luck getting a ticket at Iowa City.
Sold out 30 of their 32 games, home and away.
Another rebound for Martinez. Martinez and Puello, the two veterans. And Arizona's remarkable season. Just about 46 seconds away from extending to play Syracuse here on Saturday afternoon. Sydney Shaw has just fouled out.
Sydney Shaw, sophomore, has a tremendous upside in front of her in her career. Solid season. Early lift and soft flick. That shot.
Auburn playing 11 players today. Arizona going with their 7. But boy, Puello, we talked about that experience being with that championship team, and when her team needed her, so many teammates in foul trouble, and she took over here in the 4th.
Absolutely. I mean, you're starting 2 fifth-year players with Martinez and Puello if you're Dia Barnes, and then you have 3 freshmen to go along with them, right? You lose 35 points of production early this season. You've gone with the Magnificent 7, and they had tryouts. And you asked about that yesterday, and I thought it was a fantastic story there.
Yeah, they actually went on Twitter and had open tryouts. About 10 people made it into the process. They didn't sign any of them or put them on the team. They did add Brooklyn Rhodes, the only player we have not seen. She is a freshman who played AAU with Jada Williams. But she has not played. It has been the 7 and now the 6 because they've had a player foul out today in Cunningham. And the winner of this game will get Syracuse on Saturday after UConn packs this place and plays Jackson State. Yeah. Congrats to Jackson State. Yes. They keep winning the SWAC. Yep. They are back again. And they will play UConn on ABC Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that'll be an awesome game and an awesome environment here in stores. Sell it out. The fans here are magnificent. Speaking of magnificence, Magnificent 7 for Arizona has just been fun to watch them grind out games and win.
Puello gets a block. Why not?
Yeah.
And this Auburn team won 20 games in the SEC. Quite a feat for them. And again, you go back, this is the 3rd year for Coach Williams. She took over a year after they won 5 games and 0 SEC games. And here they are 3 years later, 20 wins and an NCAA tournament bid.
It's just fantastic. It goes 10 wins, 16 wins, and then 20 wins this year for Auburn. And continuing to improve, continuing to climb that ladder in the tough SEC. And as we said earlier, they split with LSU this season in conference play.
A huge win.
Big win.
Yep. Puello goes out, and well, the Arizona fans are giving her a standing ovation. Well deserved. Elena, 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting. And the Arizona Wildcats' improbable season continues. They never trailed in this game. Arizona wins it by 10, and we will see them against Syracuse on Saturday.
Well, we said that both teams mirror one another with grit and toughness, and who could sustain it? It was the Magnificent 7 from Arizona who could do that.
And a magnificent career for Honesty Scott Grayson, who sees her collegiate career come to a close. Syracuse and Arizona. We'll see you Saturday afternoon on ESPN2 for that one, after UConn and Jackson State on ABC. So for Christy Winter-Scott and our entire crew, I'm Pam Ward as we say so long. How about Tennessee Martin and Holy Cross? Beth Mowens and the one and only Stephanie White in Iowa City. They got